You know, I actually found a lot of stuff for us to talk about with this trailer. Let's take a deep dive on it. That's pretty fun, actually. It makes me feel good about the future of this franchise. That there is stuff to discuss even with this first teaser trailer. That's what you need. You need stuff for people to talk about. Now, speaking of stuff to talk about, one of the things many of you are surprised about is that I said in my trailer reaction for this is that I wanted to walk out of the first movie. And some of you totally got where I was coming from, but some of you were like, how could you want to walk out on this? I'll tell you the exact moment I wanted to walk out. And that's when Stephen Lang had to go out of the airlock, but his helmet was broken, so he just held his breath. That's ridiculous! If you can just hold your breath, you don't need a containment suit to walk out in the atmosphere. So I thought that was ridiculous. I also thought how the Na'vi have sex with their tails was like a really stupid way to get a sex scene into the movie, but yet have it kind of be PG-13. And I thought that was also a ridiculous way for Na'vi to get it on. So some of it to me was just real eye roll. Also, I don't like camping. I don't like talking about my feelings. So, that's a lot about what Avatar is about. But I do love the beach, and that's also what Avatar is about. And Pandora is the biggest selling point. Pandora, that's why they built it in Animal Kingdom, and it's extremely popular. And also the visual effects. James Cameron broke the mold with 3D when he first came out with this film, and he's gonna have to do it again 13 years later. He got people into 3D in the first place. He's gonna have to get them back into 3D. And he might just do it. Some of you were like, don't blame James Cameron for Terminator Dark Fate. Well, not only did James Cameron come up with the idea for what happened to John Connor at the beginning of the movie, that's all him. But also his writer on that movie, co-writer, is the writer of Avatar: The Way of Water, Josh Friedman. But he did also work on Sarah Connor Chronicles. He's the creator of that show, actually. So I don't know what happened, why Terminator Dark Fate was so bad. Also, Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver, two of my favorite screenwriters, have worked on all 4 movies, helping to put them together. All 4 sequels, which are going to cost $1 billion overall. What a gamble! That right there is entertaining. So I have a little bit more faith with their involvement. All right, let's break this down. Let's get back into the world of Avatar. And some of you have pointed out they did change the font, which of course is the subject of one of the best SNL sketches of all time. If you haven't seen that, be sure to check that out. It's hilarious. All right, here we go. So look, 20th Century Studios. Show me the palm tree. That's my favorite part. Lightstorm is James Cameron's company. Now look at this. All right, so James Cameron's already done Pocahontas. Now he's bringing in Tarzan. That's right, you see a human amongst the Na'vi, and that is Spider, a human child who has been adopted by Jake and Neytiri. So they have 4 children, 3 of their own, and then this human one, well, Jake used to be a human, that they've brought in to live with them, who prefers the world of Pandora to living with the humans in the RDA mining and military facility. So, I don't know, first, I'm like, Pocahontas and now Tarzan, but doing Pocahontas works so well, I'm like, why not do Tarzan? So let's see. Great for that actor. Everybody else has to be motion captured, and he gets to be there, right there. His face is in the whole movie. And so, let's see, he seems to not only be able to keep up with his Na'vi siblings, but lead the way, unless they're just being nice to him. But this is when you understand the context of this shot, this is very idyllic. Children at play in Pandora. All right. So, there's Neytiri. She's like, still got it, thank you very much. 3 kids later, still a hottie. That's like the most iconic stuff from the original movie. Also very similar to the Pocahontas shot in the animated movie, by the way, from Disney. All right, so then we have this gorgeous shot over the water. I love when you can just see right through the water. That's gorgeous. That happens on Earth too, still. Some places are still not totally ruined by pollution. So they're riding banshees there, just like the ride. That does look really refreshing. People were so into Pandora when the first movie came out, unbelievably, but tragically, some people actually committed suicide because they could not go to Pandora. I don't know if you recall that headline from the time. But it's just that's just stunning. And there's There's Jake, who, as I said, looks very, the Avatar is supposed to look like its human counterpart, looks very much like Sam Worthington. Remember when Sam Worthington was going to be a big deal? His career never worked out, but look, James Cameron comes to save him, to star in 4 more movies, unless his character gets killed. But that doesn't mean you're dead, as we'll talk about, it doesn't mean you're out of the franchise, as we'll discuss a little bit later in this teaser. So there he is, and he has got a lot of human accoutrement behind him, it looks like. Is that family stuff? Is he doing some kind of camping things? This is a family that lives between the human world and the Na'vi world. So they're the perfect people for us to focus on. That's kind of, thematically this is pretty good. If this script can be well written, I could get into this. So they're flying. I wonder if this is a family trip, because remember, to ride a Banshee, you have to be able to connect to it. So Spider would have to ride with someone else. I couldn't quite pick him out on the back, riding along with them. Maybe he's going to meet them there. I'm not sure. But you have just enough Banshees for the family. So is this a family road trip? Look at that glide. That is really beautiful. So I'm not sure if this is their daughter. They have 2 sons and a daughter. Or if this is a member of the other tribe. There's another tribe that we're going to be meeting that's aquatic based. But that is also a very beautiful shot. And that looks super real. They apparently have dentistry on Pandora. That's a great smile. So this December is a great time for this type of movie to come out. Pandora, in fact, not only put 3D on the map, but it put the tropical summer release blockbuster on the map, which has been followed in the footsteps by the Jumanji movies and also Aquaman. And it was supposed to be Aquaman this year. Black Panther 2 will kind of have a similar situation as it comes out in November, right before this movie. And it also has a water theme with Namor. So that's Disney-friendly fire. We'll see how that works out. Will we prefer Namor or will we prefer the Na'vi? Maybe we'll love both of them. So anyway, it's a hot release date. Now look, so the RDA Mining Company is still doing real well. And look, they're polluting the world. So this is their headquarters, and you can see they have 2 avatars. I have a theory about these 2 avatars, which we'll talk about in a later shot. But you can see these are not native Na'vi. These are the avatars that the humans have created, which is the whole point of the first movie. And you can see that there's some humans are walking around regular, and then that one has an exoskeleton, very similar to, of course, Aliens, also from the mind of James Cameron, that allows them to work at the same level as the Na'vi. Edie Falco's in this movie, by the way, I saw as a general. That's such a great role for Edie Falco, and it's such a James Cameron thing to do. So I can't wait to see her. So here we have another shot. They've really made themselves at home, and they've made this beautiful planet so ugly. Look at all that concrete. Plant a tree somewhere, man. Would it kill you? So there they are. You can see them. So there's this one helo taking off, and you can see there are those 2 Na'vi, those 2 avatars again in that vehicle. So look, so here we have Spider and either some other Na'vi or his actual family, his adopted family. Look, he's painted blue stripes on himself so he can blend in as best as possible. Very Tarzan. Down to the hair. Tarzan, Tarzan, Tarzan. That's craziness. All right. So there they are. Now look at this. All right, so these are humans in their Na'vi avatars. Now I'm wondering, because Stephen Lang and Matt Gerard are back from the first movie, even though their characters died. So I'm wondering if maybe there was a way to save their consciousness and put them in permanently in their Na'vi avatars. That would be a really, really, really interesting development for them to be walking around as the things that they hate, right? They just, have not been able to come over, even though they always are in that form now. But so anytime you see a Na'vi that's dressed like a human, that is a person in an avatar. It's not a native Na'vi. So this is typical military garb right down to the shades. But I'm wondering if it's Stephen Lang, I think that would be Stephen Lang in the front, given a new lease on life, not only in terms of physical strength, but much younger. And then I think that might be Matt Gerard behind him. So that'll be interesting. He's like, I've got scores to settle, baby, and 4 movies to do it in. Let's see if it takes him that long. So look, so there's Spider Look at, again, amazing teeth. Everyone has fantastic teeth here. You know, that's such a James Cameron shot. He looks just like a little, tiny little baby Michael Biehn, right? I mean, that's funny to me. That's really, really funny. But yeah, that's just totally the way that a James Cameron character would react. A little bit over the top, but just so convinced of of what they're doing. That it's just like, and I think people really connect to that actually, but it's very funny. I'd be like, you're gonna make some rash decisions, buddy. I don't know if you're in the right mind. You know, you got to think, you got to pull back your emotions and be smart about it. So here we are. This looks like an aquatic version of a Banshee, which the Na'vi can also attach to by that thing in the back there. Boy, man. I hope they're practicing tail safety. They're sticking their tails in a lot of stuff. All right, so there we go. That is a very pretty shot, though. And so look at that. They emerge. Oh, so pretty. So this looks like Jake's family, because there's Neytiri in the back there. They're having a powwow. And I think this is Kate Winslet, the queen, it looks like, or a very important figure in the aquatic tribe. And look at the difference in the skin color and the markings on this aquatic tribe. When you see them out of the water, you can see that they have like a sea green kind of a tone to their skin. And also they have the markings that are more aquatic, like fish, whereas the Na'vi that we've seen that are land-based have markings like zebras or you know, land animals. And that's actually a pretty interesting distinction. And I wonder if we'll meet other different types of, you know, Na'vi throughout the course of the films, when that might have slight variations on the color of their skin and the markings, which is a little like Green Lantern with the different colors for the different groups there. So I think that's very interesting. But I think that's Kate Winslet. So there's another member, you can see by the markings in the skin color again, of the aquatic tribe. Oh, look. That, by the way, the Na'vi are so big, that whale must be super big. Oh, it has something to attach to that as well. You can apparently plug into any animal or being here on this planet. So it looks like, is that Kate Winslet's character again there in the front? It looks like she might be expecting. And I think that's the leader of their tribe, the male leader, played by Cliff Curtis, I believe. I think that might be his character. The water does look stunning. I'm not gonna lie, it looks so beautiful. I'm just like, I feel like I could reach out and touch it. That's really cool. So look, so they've broken in the human facility, it looks like. So there's Spider and maybe one of his brothers. I don't know how he could possibly be as good a swimmer. Is that Stephen Lang? He looks like he has Stephen Lang's over-the-topness in his performance. That's crazy. I bet it is Stephen Lang. I can't see that one side of his face where he'd have the scarring. And I bet that's why we haven't seen it yet. Because did he transfer over the scars? Maybe he's so crazy he put the scars back on himself because they define him. That's something he'd totally do. All right, so that's the family. That's great. So that's Jake with one of his, you know, one of his sons, and then his adopted son, Spider. That's a cool shot. But look, it looks like there's been problems as there's like leftovers of explosions in the back there, fires. And we have another problem here that looks like Neytiri and maybe her daughter trapped. That looks like a scene from Titanic. So here we know another beautiful shot. That's gorgeous. And this is very pretty as well. Is that Kate Winslet and Cliff Curtis again? We'll see. That Cliff, whoever this figure is on the right, that guy's really cool. He looks really great. Very commanding. And look at that. That is an amazing shot. That's so pretty. That's so pretty. Now this is hilarious to me, as I said during the my trailer reaction. So they come out. I wonder if that's Jake. I can't see too closely who that is. But this is an amazing animal. It can go from sea to air, so it can swim and fly, because it has both like a dolphin tail and then wings. So that's impressive. That could certainly come in handy in this movie. And of course they have human weapons. Now is that Jake being like, "Let me lead you," or is he showing everyone the way? But it's such a James Cameron thing to do. It almost, you know, like they had all these jokes about what the Hollywood pitches would be for sequels for Avatar 2 back in the day. They had some really funny ones actually. And this almost seems like it would be one out of one of those pitches, but yet it's the actual movie. But again, for the most part, with the exception of the last Terminator movie, James Cameron has always delivered. So let's see. But I mean, it's going to be crazy to see him this, you know, Na'vi firing a gun from atop, you know, in this beautiful idyllic setting. I mean, let's see how it looks. It's going to be crazy. I don't know if it's a good idea or if it's silly, but I guess it got my attention, so it's a good idea. And so he says, no matter what happens, this family is our fortress. And that's nice. I can really see people getting behind that. People love that. I mean, Vin Diesel's built a whole fortune and a franchise on family. And so it looks like Avatar might be doing the same thing. Like at the end of the day, family, you know, the one that you have and the one that you make with the adoption of Spider is what matters. And that could be really beautiful. The holidays, you know, you want families to go to the movies together. Only in theaters, December. So yeah, it could be big. It could be real big. I think the question is, how big is Black Panther? Black Panther 2 and the Namor elements. There's gonna be a lot of water stuff in that movie. And you know, a lot of people wait now to go to the movie. Although, you know, some movies are doing very well. So we'll see if this is at the level of No Way Home and Doctor Strange 2. I think that when you start to look closer at the story elements, it becomes a little bit more compelling. So are you planning to see Avatar: The Way of Water in theaters? And will you see it in 3D? All these multiplexes are gonna have to dust off their 3D equipment. I think the only way to see it is in IMAX or Dolby 3D, to be honest with you. So once again, premium theaters will rule. All right, thank you for going over this with me. What are your observations? Do you have a different opinion of it after we've seen some of the details? And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.